Hey everybody, welcome back. Stacker here. In today's Numismatic News and Information for the 18th day of October 2023, I'm going to welcome you over to moneymetals.com so we can look at the live spot prices as well as the premiums and the availability for the American Silver Eagle. Then next, after that, we're going to be looking at the MIT's bullion page to see if they've added any new totals to the bullion sales for October. And not only that, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. I want to get up to 10,000 subs. That way we can, bam, there you go, start selling merchandise with this particular, is this a sticker right now? You may or may not have one, but that's going to be really cool on some mugs or t-shirts and so on and so forth. Now let's get to it. Moneymetals.com says that gold is up $22.90 to $19.57, and that's interesting because, well, gold may or may not be. I think it could be, especially with all the stuff going on in the world today. I think it could be hitting its all-time highs, and I think we are about $120 away from the all-time high in the dollar-denominated currency. So that's interesting because we've already hit maybe a few other currencies that have hit all-time highs for gold this year. That's really interesting. Now, silver's up 43 cents to 23.41. That's popping. Platinum up 565 to 918.70, and palladium down 460 to 1170.30. You're looking at an in-stock American Silver Eagles premium is $8.49. Now let's get over here to the bullion sales for the United States Mint. There we are, bullion sales updated every weekday by 5 p.m. And now look at that, we're at 2,200,000 for the month of October, bringing our total for the year to 20 million, almost 200,000. That is quite something, isn't it? Because we have about a week and a half left of October, and we could see these actually go a little bit higher, maybe to 21 million. Who knows? But we're definitely higher than last year's total. That's just under 16 million. Now over here to the United States Mint, we got U.S. Mint news, press release, and 2023. All right, here we go. The U.S. Mint announces the 2025 American Women Quarters Program coins. And it says here, this is out of Washington, the United States Mint announces the honorees for the 2025 American Women Quarters Program. This is the fourth and final year of the historic program featuring coins with reverse tails designs of the emblematic of the accomplishments and contributions of American women. And now I'm sure there's some people that are very happy that this program is ending and it's only 4 years and that it's really a short program. I myself am very happy that it's a short program because it lets other ideas and designs out there, right? Because, I mean, let's face it, if they did 10 years, it might have been really just exhausting for a lot of people to purchase that much inventory and sit on it for who knows how many years. I mean, that's basically what had happened for the state quarters and the America the Beautiful quarters. Now, it says here this is the final year, 2025, of the historic program. However, we know that in 2026, that's the 250th anniversary of the country, the United States, well, there's going to be one quarter that features, that honors women. So I don't know if it's going to be that very first quarter that's issued in 2026, but it does continue the program for one more quarter just past 2025. All right, and that's kind of exciting, actually. Now, the Mint facilities at Philadelphia and Denver will manufacture the circulating corners honoring these women. Now, don't forget, the United States Mint sells the San Francisco business strikes as well in a PDS set. Now, it says here, I'm pleased to announce the final 5 of the 20 remarkable women we have featured in the American Women Quarters Program, said Mint Director Ventress C. Gibson. It's a privilege for the Mint to connect America through coins. You remember that, connecting America through coins on YouTube, and they had like a coin rolling through the countryside? Yeah, that was pretty cool. I wonder where that went. And to tell our nation's story through honoring women, the women in this amazing program. The pioneering women we have recognized are among the many of our nation's history who have made significant contributions and championed change in their own unique way. Now, it says, as stipulated by this law, this has basically been put together by these women organizations, right? The Secretary of Treasury selects the women to be honored following consultation with the Smithsonian American Women's History Museum, the National Women's History Museum, and the Congressional Bipartisan Women's Caucus. So it's females honoring females is what this is. All right. First one is Ida B. Wells, was a pioneering investigative journalist, suffragist, civil rights activist who co-founded the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. That's the NAACP. Wells used her powerful voice to speak out against and investigate lynching and other social injustices against black people. She traveled across the nation and internationally, shedding light on state-sanctioned violence, despite dangers she faced. She was also an active participant in the Women's Club and suffrage movements, and later engaged in social work for the growing city of Chicago. Isn't that something? Juliette Gordon Low founded the Girl Scouts organization in America on March 12, 1912, almost said 2012, in Savannah, Georgia. envisioning and organizing an organization that was accessible to girls regardless of differences, a place where girls could develop leadership and advocacy skills to better their lives. All right, that's awesome, as well as nurture their strengths and passions. And who knew if she was talking about cookies? But I'll tell you what, isn't that something? I think that's what they're most known for today, those cookies. She devoted her life to promoting and growing Girl Scouts to the international organization it is today, with nearly 2 million adult and girl members worldwide. Lowe personally embodied many of the traits that are found throughout Girl Scouting. She founded a movement that prepared girls for leadership 8 years before women gained the right to vote in the United States, and emphasized civic responsibility, motivating girls to make their communities better places through service. I think that's one of their actual mottos is make better communities through service. Now here we go. Dr. Vera Rubin, love that name, Vera. Reminds me of that Pink Floyd song. Was a trailblazing astronomer who pioneered work on galaxy rotation. Her observations provided the first persuasive evidence of dark matter. Isn't that something? We always hear about that in science, dark matter, and it makes up a certain percentage, a great percentage of the universe, a major scientific discovery that transformed our understanding of the universe. During the 1970s, Dr. Rubin's work produced clear observational evidence that confirmed the vast majority of the mass universe is invisible. That's the dark matter majority of it, right? That's a huge, huge discovery. Earlier in her career, Rubin struggled to gain recognition as a female astronomer in a male-dominated field, and throughout her career, she fought to bring down barriers to research that women face due to sexism. I tell you, that's awful. It just makes no sense, because if you're good enough, you should be in there, regardless of what genitalia you might have. In addition to her research, Rubin mentored other women and astronomers and fought for gender parity in science, right? Equality, parity. Now, Rubin pushed for representation of women on scientific communities as conference speakers and as professors. I think that's outstanding. Way to go, Miss Vera, Dr. Vera. That's awesome. Stacy Park Milburn, here we go, is a visionary leader and powerful activist for people with disabilities, born with congenital muscular dystrophy. She was introduced to disability rights history as a teenager, where she found her sense of community and terrific passion for activism. So I think she's born in Seoul, South Korea, all right? And the governor of North Carolina appointed her to the statewide Independent Living Council and Commission for the Blind. She was instrumental in the writing and passage of the North Carolina law requiring that a disability curriculum be taught in schools. She also co-founded the Disability Justice Framework, focused on serving marginalized communities. I think this is amazing. Really, probably going to be my favorite quarter out of all of them so far. I don't think people with disabilities are, well, I think they're just overlooked for the most part. Her visionary speeches and online writings inspired empowerment, inclusiveness, and interdependence. She directly supported people with disabilities transitioning from institutional care to living independently. I love that. You know, being disabled, you just want to be treated like everybody else. You don't want extra rights or special privileges. You just want your fair share, the parity that everybody else gets, right? In 2014, President Obama appointed her to the President's Committee for People with Intellectual Disabilities during COVID-19 pandemic and climate emergencies. Milburn raised awareness of the dangers of threatening access to life-saving care. Let's read that again. She raised awareness of the dangers threatening access to life-saving care. She formed a mutual aid network to provide critical resources to disabled people isolated by shelter-in-place order. Could you imagine being disabled and not very independent, and then all of a sudden they're saying, yep, you're on your own? No, that sucks. That's awful. So if that doesn't give you a chicken skin, I don't know what does. You better check your pulse. Althea Gibson, all right, that's the final American Women Quarter honoree for 2025, was a trailblazing multi-sport athlete who accomplished an impressive list of firsts throughout her athletic career as the first black athlete to break the color barrier at the highest level in tennis. She won 11 Grand Slam titles by the end of the 1950s, including multiple championships at Wimbledon, the U.S. Open, and the French Open in both singles and doubles competitions. That's amazing. And it wasn't Venus and Serena Williams, right? She was voted the 1958 Female Athlete of the Year by the Associated Press and was inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame and the International Women's Sports Hall of Fame. Not content with one sport, she also became the first black player to compete in the Women's Professional Golf Tour. That's amazing. The design for the courses featuring the 2025 honorees will be unveiled in 2024. That's right. We talked about that yesterday in yesterday's video, how on October 24th, which I believe is next Monday, they're going to be talking at the CCAC about which designs they are going to promote to the Commission of Fine Arts and then ultimately the Treasury Secretary, right? The American Women Program, easy for me to say, We start over. The American Women Quarters Program is authorized by Public Law 116-330, beginning in 2022 and continue through 2025, but really 2026. It's for at least one quarter. The Mint is issuing 5 quarters in each of these years. The ethnically, racially, and geographically diverse group of individuals honored through this program reflects a wide range of accomplishments and fields, including suffrage, civil rights, abolition, government, humanities, science, space, and the arts. And there it is. And I will leave a link in the description for this. So let's go over this real quick here. I'm going here. This is Ida B. Wells. And I imagine you might see one of these pictures, one of these portraits, okay, on the design for the 2025 quarter. That's Ida Wells right there. Bam. Now, this is the next one. This is Juliette Gordon-Low. And I had the Susan B. Anthony vibe when I looked at this. Yeah. Where's my cookies? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel about that. I mean, I love cookies from the Girl Scouts. And when I see them outside the store, I'm like, oh, got to go get some cookies. Are you the same? I don't know. I know I am. And then there they go. Let's keep on keeping on. That's pretty funny. Now, this is Vera Rubin. This is Dr. Vera Rubin. She actually established the importance of dark matter in the universe. That's huge. I mean, that's like, what? Yeah. I mean, they're probably going to, I mean, look, that's so huge that they're, out of all the women that are going to be talked about here, it's probably Dr. Vera Rubin that they're going to be talking about 2,000 years in the future if we're still around. You know what I mean? That's what a big deal this doctor was. That just gives you chicken skin. If you've not got chicken skin right now, I don't know what you're waiting for. You better check that pulse, like I said. Now over here, this is Stacy Park Milburn. There she go. It says here, what is her disability? Oh, gosh, let me go back to this one right here. She was actually became deaf. Check this out. At Juliet's wedding, guests threw rice at the newlyweds as a good luck tradition at the time. Regrettably, or unluckily, I would say unluckily, a grain of rice went into her ear, and she had already lost some hearing because of a childhood illness and improperly treated ear abscess. Well, the operation to remove the rice damaged her hearing even more, and she became deaf. Oh, man, that's tragic right there. Here we go. This is disability justice pioneer Stacy Park Milburn. She perished at 33 years old. She was so young. Born May 19, 1987 in Seoul, South Korea. Perished in Sanford, California. As her friend and fellow activist Andrea Levant told KQED, I think that's the San Francisco station in California, by simply being herself, Milburn was centering intersectionality. She had muscular dystrophy and came from a mixed-race family. Her father is white and her mother's Korean, and she identified as queer. Disability justice pioneer Stacy Park Milburn dies at age 33. That's so sad. That's just rough. Now, the final one here is Althea Gibson. This is a great story, just remarkable. Probably my favorite American Women honoree this year for 2025. And this should be a movie. That's how amazing this is. I got chicken skin right now thinking about it. And she's from Clarendon County, South Carolina. But during the Great Migration, because of the Great Depression, it hit South Carolina first, and they moved to the Upper West Side, Harlem, in the 1930s. So this is a great story. I really would love to see this as a movie. And if it's already a movie, shame on me for not seeing it, because this is one heck of a story. Now, with that said, folks, let's go to those plus ones. Bam! This is Proverbs 25:8, and it kind of continues the theme of what's going on in the world we live in today. It says here, with a heavy heart, I got to say this. It says here, go not forth hastily to fight or argue, lest thou... I don't like the Shakespearean action on this. It just gives me the willies. Go forth not hastily to fight or argue. That's because when I read it, I hear it in this English accent. Lest thou know what to do in the end, when thy neighbor hath put thee to shame. Here we go. Let's go ahead and try to wrap our head around this a little bit more. Don't become involved in an argument unless you have thought through how it may end. Ask yourself what outcomes are accessible. Well, if you ever heard the saying, that escalated quickly? Well, probably somebody didn't think it through very much. Yeah, I would say that. Now, let's head over here to 395.99.9. Yeah, that's Jimi. He's awesome. And this is all along the Watchtower. Now, there it is, folks. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you see, well, like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs so we can open up that store to hook up y'all with some merchandise. Stacker out.